Fellas, just like that, we are back again for another episode of Who's Fighting. LT, Kam Gee, how you been, fellas?
What up? What up?
What's going on, y'all? Feeling good? Feeling great?
Oh,
Mm, mm,
comme si, comme
Stretch
ça,
it.
comme si, comme ça. After that week that we had, that was kind of slow in boxing, comme si, comme ça. But personally, feeling amazing. Answering your question, Kam Gee.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was tired, boss.
Said,
Yeah,
fake
man.
the funk.
Nah, man. Yeah. But we got a nice little rundown coming up here, so I'm a little excited about it.
Yeah.
This will be a challenge for us. Like you were talking about in the pre-show, Strap. With us having this lull in the boxing world, us as consistent podcasters coming up with these interesting topics. But I have to note this weekend, one of the guys I do strength and conditioning work for, Stephen Gomez, won his Golden Gloves at the 198 division here in Texas this weekend. So that was really exciting, and just to see another guy have some success and allow me to work with them. You know, I was just thinking, man, we got proof of concept now. So I gotta start patting myself on the back. We got proof of concept, but it's just exciting to see these guys go out on a big stage and perform well. So shout out to my guy Stephen Gomez out of
Shout
Denton,
out to
Texas.
Stephen Gomez.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like talking about that circuit that you were doing. Was that golden glove, silver glove?
So this tournament was out in Fort Worth, Golden Gloves, 198-pound division. These are novice, so it means they have under 10 amateur fights. And my guy performed extremely well. Got a knockdown in his semifinal bout, and then just laying the hammer in his championship bout late on Saturday evening. Man, it was just a pleasure to watch. Pleasure watching so many great fighters. It's exciting when you see guys that are like 17 years old, 15, coming through the ranks, and you see guys that are potential pros, coming up. So it lets you know that the talent, the pipeline is still there. It's still strong. We got future stars, all over the place.
That's good. It's always good to see the grassroots in a healthy place, and talent is flowing through the pipeline, especially from the different industries within boxing, from like trainer to promoter to all the different components that come together to bring this entertainment to you. Let alone the fighter, yes, who is the big spectacle, the big pull. But again, like you said, these are early times where you get this novice fighter, 10 fights or less, getting into that ring, cutting their teeth, for lack of a better word, for experience. And your guy prevailed, and from what right now you're calm and collected, but when we were back behind the scenes in the green room, you were talking about how he was cracking the opponent, and you were like, yeah, that workout routine is paying off. So it's always good to get that gratification from the fruits of your labor as a trainer, seeing your fighters have these results. How about Coach LT? I know you're a coach too. How is everything going in that world?
We building it, you know what I'm saying? Building it from the ground up. I got an interesting group of athletes for this track season. Middle school girls are very extremely talented, naturally gifted. And so when they get disciplined, they're gonna be special. So high school, young group that should stick together for a while. Freshman heavy, and so I'm excited to see them go from the raw mold into more refined. I just have to remind myself to be patient with them and remind myself that they are freshmen.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see it though. That's the thing. You like, I see what you can be.
Yeah.
Be it today.
I'm not a coach, but I'm engaged in leadership, and sometimes those are healthy projects right there. Like it's a good project to work on where you phase it out, like regardless of what foundation you start at, but you're looking at like incremental growth. Especially you're talking about freshmen. They're going to experience so many things from not only from the metabolism to growing and getting older, and then getting into their body and now becoming this by the time they're like sophomore, junior, kind of where they're pivoting into this, prime. I wouldn't say prime, but some people, I would be honest, some people's prime was in high school, but to that athlete. But you know
Shots
what I'm talking
fired.
about. Not shots fired, but like to a point where because I would say I was a late bloomer as a freshman. I was like 5'3", 5'5". I was little, so I know when I was playing rugby, my coach looked at me like a project because he didn't know my parents' genetics or anything. He was like, "Yo, bro, just learn every position. Just they never really specialized me like the big kids. Like, yo, you're gonna do that. They just told me just gave me my freedom because I was a little guy. And then later on, I grew into 6', 6'1", and I had skills of a little guy in rugby, but also I had the liberty to play kind of in my size. So like I could, if that makes sense, like
Yeah.
like freshman are project, like for real, like
Right. Yeah. I mean, certain phases in life are about exploration and figuring out what you're good at, and part of coaching is being able to identify and putting people in a position to be successful. So
while we're still at this topic, because it could transcend even into boxing. What I know right now we're talking about coaching and getting results for competition, for sport, right? But what element of a coach do you become? One, a mentor, a psychologist, and a father figure. If
man,
you're a male, or even a mother figure, like like that nurturing, like how there's so many elements of coaching that we don't even tap in. But this is a good conversation for right now because we'll pivot into some other things. But like this is good. It's good to have two of you both here that do this.
I'll start because earlier stages in my career, um, I really heavily focus on the transferable skills into life, right? Um, Me dealing with uh, adolescents and amateurs, one of the main things I got to do is make this parallel, incorporate a lesson because everybody's not going to college, and majority is not going to college, majority is not going pro, and most people don't even have those aspirations. But what can you take from this and apply it to your everyday life? um, and then in other situations, it's like, okay, some people see athletics as an avenue, right? Some people see that as a means of way to get into the next level in life. And so at that point, um, I'm willing to help you there too. Like I want my athletes to go on and do, carry it into the next level. I enjoy people that love the athletics that much that they want to take it to the next step. And so, um, then I'll become even more of a mentor and like help guide them through that process. And I just enjoy that because I'll point them in the direction. And when then they take the onus on and say, yeah, I want this, and then they go do it on their own, I'm like, okay, yeah,
Said it right there. When they start doing it on their own, that's when it's on their mind when they left you. You making your imprint. I was gonna say, Strap. It's like the moment you become a coach because you could say you're a coach and think you're gonna sit back and do stuff, but that be that one pupil that looks up to you for whatever reason, and you confront that role and accept it where you do, and if there's someone that is going to be missing that what they're the moment you step into that role of being a coach is like it's like it's automatic. Now the level that you ascend to, is up to you and how you handle the situation. But that's the beauty of it, because you're always learning, how to become that. So, but nah, that's the dope part about it. We lost Strap to the ether.
Oh man. Yep. He'll be back though.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Hopefully.
Well,
Hopefully.
yeah.
We probably yeah. I don't know. He probably hopefully he might need to hit that button, reset the
Right.
router.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm back here. It's just, like, the tech gremlins wanted to take me away, but I'm fighting for my life, fighting for my dear life here.
Oh
I'm
man.
still in the game. I'm not going. But I
Okay.
was listening to you backstage, and this is like very, very good information for me to know, and I believe for the listeners to know that, like coaching is a calling. Sometimes some people don't. We don't even talk about how many sacrifices some coaches make, because some coaches don't even get paid enough, but it's like a passion project. Some people just wake up. You hear about Coach Kyle and his story from prison to training world champions, and even they made movies about Coach Kyle, like in The Wire. There was a role about Coach Kyle in there because he was from Baltimore, and you hear about coaches, spending their last driving these kids in a van, taking them cross country to fight, and doing all sorts of stuff, going looking for donations to get gear, to get mouthpieces, to get all sorts of stuff. And you realize, like, to them, that's their purpose. It's not $1 million. It's not this. It's just that they see these kids improving every day and being better people in any sport they do. And that's why, like, when I hear coaching, and I to me, it's like one of the most selfless things to ever do. Yes, there's some people that kind of super commercialize it, where, come join our team, we're the best, we make champions, got to pay all this, these dues, you got to have me for your camp, you got to pay these charges. But that's not, we talk about grassroots, man. You're not gonna get money from grassroots. Like, this is young talent. Like, you're pretty much developing, and that's the same thing with high schoolers, coaching in high school, coaching at a gym. You're just getting, rough around the edge talent, and you're refining it, and then passing it on to the next level. So that's a good conversation, and it's good that I'm hearing that in real time, and just like some audience members may be hearing it in real time, and just giving that appreciation to coaches and the roles that they play in our lives, in our kids' lives, and
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have that luxury everywhere that at every school. You don't have that luxury of the developmental phase, and that's why it's the commercialization is trickling all the way down.
oh yeah.
Unfortunately, but
Even here alone in the city that I live in, there's some private schools that need a finished product. And I'm like, a finished product in high school? Are you kidding me? Because they're getting kids, these private schools are getting kids talents from everywhere across the world. Now, I won't say any institutions, but you know them.
yeah, I used to work on one of
them. Yeah, they don't believe in developing. I mean, yes, they're developing you for the next level, but they need you to have kind of an elite foundation. And I'm like, oh, so yeah.
That boys ain't getting out the mud no more, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But anyways, without further ado, that was one of our, we need to bring more of these in reality, in, person to person conversations about, career choice and whatever in this fighting sphere that we talk about, who's fighting. But let's pivot to what really this show is about, who's fighting. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted, fellas. Help me out. Should I start with the UFC 313, however you say it, or should we just dive into the topics?
You probably should start with the UFC.
Okay, let's start with the UFC real quick, and let me see what's on the banner here. Okay, for those that missed it, I know this is not a recap show. It's midweek. We are going to talk about more progressive stuff that is going to be coming up, topics that have been around the fighting world, Twitter's trending topics. But let's do a quick, fast recap. And it's Pereira lost. That's how fast it is. We have Magomed Ankalaev. He's from Russia. defeated the person that we thought was not going to get defeated in a long time because of not only of his pedigree with other fight organizations. Like, I don't know if he did ONE FC, but he must have done like the circuit of K1. He was a kickboxer. And if, a quick history on Alex Pereira, he was the rival at one time of Israel Adesanya. They fought so many times in so many organizations that he even came to the UFC chasing Israel Adesanya and becoming the Israel Adesanya boogeyman or whatever. And then he became the UFC champion. I think he held it in 2 divisions. He did it for the middle and the light heavy, I believe. And I thought it was up and up for Alex Pereira because, bro, he was knocking out everyone that he came across besides Israel Adesanya, the last fight they had. This fight here, he made a Dagestani beast. This guy, and I could give you a quick breakdown based on how I looked at this fight. And yes, I know it's not a recap show, and you guys probably saw this fight because this is a marquee fight. This is UFC 113, but
313.
Oh, I mean 313, 313.
Like Detroit, 313.
Yeah, 313. It happened March 8th, Saturday. A quick my synopsis is, I can't even speak. My review of this is, I saw Pereira doing what Pereira does the first 2 rounds, which is he's aggressive. Pereira is a very tricky fighter, right? He's a kickboxer that has very good stability where he could prevent a takedown because he's strong. He's a big guy. Actually, he walks around at 230 pounds, 228 pounds naturally. And he has to get down to like 205 to fight, 295, whatever the weight category is for that division. So he has to really be outside his natural element. But naturally, he's a big, strong, big bone guy. But anyways, he has very good takedown defense. But typical Pereira fashion, starts off the fight aggressive. He's very dangerous with his check hook because that's what knocks out people. He looks like he's going backwards, but if you know people that know how to fight with a check hook, it's very deceptive. He's not moving back. No, he's just pulling that thing and hitting you with it. Like, it's not a jab. You think it is. It may start off as a jab, but when he moves back, he's not moving back like retreating. He's setting you up so you could get the check hook, and the check hook is very devastating because he hits you so hard with that thing, you're going down. He set up, dude, didn't work because Magomed, sorry, I'm saying you wrong. Magomed was ready for this, held him with very good clinch work. By the 3rd to the 5th round, Pereira was a bit tired. Magomed, or Ankalaev is what they call him, put the pressure on him, controlled the pace of the fight. Again, he did very good clinch work. And one thing that I realized that was very smart of Ankalaev was in the clinch work, he knew how to separate and strike. So all those small little nuances offset Pereira's whole game plan. And that's how Pereira lost. Although, to the naked eye, I thought Pereira had won because he's the champ. It wasn't like a blitz, like they beat Pereira. It was more of like, this is a competitive fight. But hearing the judges' scorecards, one was 94-90. I'm sorry, I'm doing boxing scorecards. This was one of the judges was 49-46. Another one was 48-47. Another one was 48-47, and all in favor for Ankalaev. And I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? But anyways, long story short, he didn't do enough to defend his belt, and we have a new champ.
Yeah, man. Pereira, he has a very upright style. And you heard Cormier talking about it. They're like, these guys getting there with him. They see him right in front of them, and they know they should go for the takedown, but for whatever reason, they can't. Something about him, what is it about him where they don't go for the takedown? And he definitely show the kind of the ring generalship the first two rounds. But like you said, it kind of tapered once we got to about that third round, and there were some attempts, but Pereira was actually able to successfully defend all the takedowns. You do gotta mention those calf kicks early on in the fight as well,
Yeah. Calf kicks. Yeah,
and that's why Pereira did a lot of work up front. To
yeah.
you're kind of thinking, okay, can he withstand all this damage he's taking to the lower body?
Mm-hmm.
But no, Ankalaev proved to be ready for that call, and he's leg visibly red,
Yeah.
visibly red, but he showed the mental fortitude to keep going, stay the course, and proved to have a little more in the tank. So
And like with
I was
this,
thoroughly pleased. I wasn't. I'm not going to say that I was surprised. Obviously, we didn't do predictions on this.
but LT, did you think he lost from the naked eye? Did you think? I didn't think he. I thought Pereira could have won it because he's the current champ. Did you think he?
So as UFC scoring goes, I was sitting there and I was like, are we going to see the rare draw?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like this is a tight fight.
Yeah, I was like, are we going to see the rare draw? Because, like you said, he's the champ, so
Yeah.
he didn't get knocked out,
and he had some significant hits on him early, where dude looked like he was scrambling and trying to take him down. So I was like,
yeah, but he was kind of the last three rounds. It was just kind of a bunch of nothing from Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira. But I still. Do you see a rematch for this? I'll tell you this before I answer my own question. UFC. I love the UFC, but man, we need marquee names, man. I know Izzy's not in the light heavy, but like the rematch for this one. Do you okay? You watched the fight.
It's not the UFC's fault that we don't know Ankalaev.
Yeah,
I mean Ankalaev comes out looking like Abraham Lincoln with the swoop.
Yeah.
That swoop, I was like, how was that gonna stay there? But the swoop held up, very Bieber-esque.
looked like a Velcro beard.
You know what I'm saying? The log cabin campaign. So
yeah, man. Like, but anyway, salute to Ankalaev, and he's the new light heavyweight champion in the UFC. Like I love the Dagestani fighters, but sometimes it's very hard to market them. I do like Khabib and the others, like because Khabib had send me the address, send me your location, or whatever he used to say. Khabib was Khabib, but
one of the other things that stick out is before the bell even rang was the pre-fight where Pereira does his stare down, where he blinks like twice over the course of 3 minutes.
Wow!
And then Ankalaev was pacing back and forth.
Boys are locked in.
Yeah,
man.
The Russians, man, they, you mentioned the marketability. If these guys keep winning, there has to be formulas designed to market them. They're quality. He's a quality fighter. I was able to actually watch this fight, and Ankalaev just was able to neutralize him with just fundamental everything. Strong, solid base, good hand placement. Was able to dictate a little bit more, which is indicated by the close two of the judges' scorecards. Very close rounds that I felt like watching the fight, he was able to edge out. So if you're holding on to, we talked about judging, if you're just going to give rounds just because they're a champion, then we have to kind of redefine how we're giving rounds. But I mean, I just felt like it was refreshing to see a fight like that, because a lot of fights do end in knockouts and submissions. So to kind of see the, I guess, more technical side of a mixed martial arts competition was definitely interesting to me. So I thought the decision was accurate. Even though Pereira is the more marketable, likable guy, is on social media visiting gyms and doing
That's the only word he
stuff.
says in it that I understand. Chama.
But hey, Ankalaev fought a very solid fight, very high IQ fight. I felt like he deserved the decision. And now, do we just ignore these guys because they're from Russia at this point? So
Like there are more fighters coming from that region that are slowly infiltrating the UFC, and like that one time
all combat sports.
yeah, in that, yeah, boxing too. Like I remember there's that one time when Brazilian fighters were coming into the UFC at a high rate with the Anderson Silvers, and like it's like weird. It comes in phases where
it's cyclical. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I think these guys can be they're fighters. You can make a whole movie about Rocky facing the Soviet Union opponent. Those guys.
So what Strap is alluding to is, since we already have President Trump ringside, where he's just saying that we're going to see Vladimir Putin sitting across from him soon at the UFC.
Hey, LT, yeah, that's quick
So
pickup
you've been on
exactly what I was thinking.
You've been on
If you do that, that's like that's like the treaty of Versailles, whatever they call it. That it will be a peace treaty for the world. That the UFC brought the United States president and the Russian president in one room to have entertainment. That's crazy. That's like freaking Dennis Rodman in South Korea bringing peace with basketball. That's
man. We say the wrong names, we're gonna get flagged by YouTube.
Right.
That's what he said. That's what he said. The president. I didn't say the president. I said I was gonna say Kim. I stopped at Little Kim. That's what I stopped at. Little Kim. But yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, Little Kim. That's crazy. Let's pivot away from the UFC for a little bit. This is one of our research episodes. This is an episode where we want to talk about some topics that have been brewing in the world of both UFC boxing, but mainly, if you've seen the tempo of how our show goes, a lot of it measures on the side of boxing more because of our knowledge base, and we do have people that are kind of privy in that world of boxing. So forgive us. Ignore the MMA side, but we do. Sorry, LT, go ahead.
I just want to jump into the driver's seat and just try to segue as best as possible.
Please.
I don't know where this is gonna go, but okay, Strap.
We still in MMA?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This one is a funny one. This one is hilarious. If you've not seen Nina Marie Danielle, she is, I don't know why she's famous, but she's famous in the MMA world. If you go to her Twitter or Instagram, you'll see why she's famous. I won't say anything on this. Anything that I say will be used against me in the courts of my house, but neither there or there, neither here or there. But she's popular.
Hold on, man. You got to take the L. You got to take the L for the sake of entertainment, man.
Yeah, anyways, she's popular because she's attractive, and she interviews a lot of these fighters before they fight, and she does like this whole camera follow me, 24 hours, HBO, whatever, like just following the fighter and doing all sorts of stuff with the fighter. And whatever fighter she has been engaging with these interviews, they always lose. So she is kind of being coined on Twitter the new Drake of MMA. And if you're a prosperous fighter, if you're a fighter who's winning in life, avoid this MMA. Some people on Twitter are hush. They're calling her a groupie. Avoid this MMA chick with the camera, and because everyone that does this one-on-one thing with her, to some level, loses. Although I think it's been debunked because Triple D? Daniel, what's his name? The Duplessis guy won. But anyways, Yeah, that's why I put that in there because Twitter we're kind of going into a frenzy and just coming up with different hypotheses of why Pereira lost. And
Hey,
because
where there's smoke, there's fire.
The
so,
curse, the
but-
curse of Nina Marie.
and you guys could Google it. Like it's all over. It's weird that it's even making headlines. It's not credible. It's we do not agree or disagree. It's just something that we could just laugh about. And I also don't know the rise of this person because she is in the official UFC training area in Vegas and interacting with these fighters. If you look at her
She's got
interview,
3.1 million followers on Instagram.
she's
Yeah, that
popping.
works.
She's sitting down with these fighters, and she's kind of training with them, doing all sorts of stuff. She had Pereira kick her or whatever. Like I'm like I don't get it, but hey, it's neither here or there.
Oh, well, look, hey, she interviewed Ankalaev. So,
Okay,
hey,
that's
hey,
like
hey, Strap. Nina Marie Daniel interviewed Ankalaev. So it's your fault you don't know who Ankalaev is.
She put him out there to her 3.1 million followers.
I'm a casual but casual when it comes to MMA. We're here to report the news now.
Oh man,
And that's news. It's new to me. But like the truth is like fighting Twitter is hilarious. And when your favorite fighter loses, even when the back when Drake would, be with these teams where he puts like his little bait wagers or, where's the Duke jersey? Where's no, he didn't wear Duke. He put on Kentucky. When he had when they back then when they had Booby, DeMarcus Cousins and they lost in I don't know if they made even the final four. I can't remember, but like it was good banter. It's a good banter topic, but nah. Nina Marie Danielle, you're a legit person in those worlds, and people come to you for interviews. I've seen you with Stylebender, but I don't know. Are you the reason why Stylebender's been losing? I don't know.
uh-oh. Ooh.
Mm.
Oh man.
He had theory.
Nina drama.
Man, let's talk about.
All right. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I'm hijacking. I'm stealing the driver wheel.
Let's go.
Because I believe in these segues.
Let's go with it. Ooh.
So now this is how you segue out of MMA into boxing, literally.
If we were not getting copywritten, I'll play Ron Brown's. His name was Ron Brown's back in the day, with Buster Rhymes and the Conglomerate. That dun, dun, we getting Arab money. But bro, that was kind of like
era. That was wild.
that was a horrible era. Very racist, by the way, because they were not saying anything in Arabic. Like me, Nicky, like yeah. Anyway, before I digress, you remember he was just making up words. There was no Arabic word in there. But respect to my Arabic brothers and sisters. Malahaba, Abibi. Anyways, boom, Turkey and Dana White, palm, grease, money exchange, big bank takes every bank. One league, no confusion, champion number one. I said a lot right there, but I'm saying that to say, hey, no confusion. Let's negate all the belts. Let everybody step into this arena and let's get ranked on who is the best. And let's get the best fights that we can get from the best fighters. And let the cream rise to the top. Fellas, let's add to this. I said a lot.
One thing interesting about this, they're talking about bringing, they're shrinking the divisions. So you'd have 175, and then your next division would be 160. Going back to your traditional divisions, I did find that very interesting. Dana White being in boxing. It is also interesting, and in boxing, interesting brings eyeballs because the first event, we will be locked in and tuned into the matchups, and the intrigue it will be extremely high, considering that there'll be one belt per division, which
Hmm.
brings the stakes up, which means that maybe we get people that aren't ducking each other to fight, and we
Hmm.
actually can truly see who's great. And I
Mhm.
always say this in boxing and combat sports, we just want to see who's great. There's no shame in taking losses. Just because you lost doesn't mean you can't come back. What we don't like to see is when guys take losses and then they make every excuse in the book and they don't take it on the chin. You're professional fighters. We want to see you be great. We want to see the best fights. We want to be entertained. We want to be able to talk about the sport. And if you lose or not, these are things that people will talk about for ages, because when X fighter fought B fighter and it was amazing and there was tactical skill and will and back and forth, and that's what the sport is all about. So for me, that's what I'm really hoping that we get back to with Dana White getting in boxing. So
So
super interested though.
so it's a wider. You don't have to hit the weight exactly. You fit in the window.
Is that what it is, or
I don't know.
so I was assuming, let's say you got your 160 guys, you can be anywhere from 155, your weight limit is 160. I think most guys will take it right up to that limit, but
Right.
some fighters may not feel comfortable doing that. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
We'll see the strategy there for guys getting, but this will be new, so you may have some slip ups from some guys because they were fighting at 160, but they came in weighing 158 or 157.
Hmm.
Rehydration and things like that. I don't know if that was addressed in the announcing the league, but Dana White part proven to put on great fights, the matches that we want to see, and just willing to just throw the cash at the problem, which is definitely needed in boxing. We want to see the great fights consistently.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that the Grand Prix is very likely to feed into this league. Are you familiar with what I'm referring to when I'm talking
Yeah.
about the Grand Prix?
Well, now go ahead and explain it to us.
So Riyadh season is having a boxing Grand Prix. Uh, it's actually called the WBC Grand Prix Riyadh season. It says the tournament aims to discover the next generation of boxing stars. It will be divided into 5 events with 128 boxers battling for glory.
Mhm.
The Grand Prix starts with quarterfinals featuring 8-round fights. The finals will be scheduled to 10 rounds. So the eligibility for the Grand Prix is they can't be more than 26 years old. They can't have more than 15 professional fights. And it's going to be in the featherweight, super lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight divisions.
Wow. And 128 fighters over those divisions.
Correct.
Wow.
This is like
So tournament style.
mhm. Mortal Kombat.
And in the early days of the PBC, we seen something similar. You know,
Yep.
we've seen similar formats.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man. Unification in like the direction we're going with the fights, and are developing new stars, and the entertainment factor for these sudden death. Like, you lose this fight, you're out of the running, and you get a great fighter that just so happened to meet a style that just didn't work for him that night. The drama that could be within there.
Yeah, and I would say this. I would say I like the idea. I like the idea of this whole thing being a straightforward approach where it eliminates the confusion of having multiple titles. It's the best fighting the best. I like that idea. And I like the idea of people not ducking people, right? And setting the right hierarchy of talent. The cream rises to the top. The only problem I'm worried about is the monopoly of it, where one person has so much power that if negotiation, whatever, you get blackballed, you're out of the whole. You can't really negotiate your stay. UFC does that. They did it to Francis Ngannou. Like Francis Ngannou is doing okay because of PFL. He had that leverage of negotiating as a free agent because he had built this value in the UFC. If you take away the WBC, you still have the IBF. You still have so many. If you take away Top Ranking, you still have Golden Boy. There's negotiation there that you could leverage on who you, and it brings a form of power to the boxer or the boxer and their team, right? But if it's a one league, one head board, board of governance type of thing, if you're not in cahoots with them, if negotiation times comes and you're asking for too much, and they tell you, bro, you only, we controlled your pay-per-view, we controlled your gate numbers, we did this, we did that. The return on investment was not this. Yes, it makes sense. Business is business, and they'll always take the business route, and they'll pay the high earner who brings in seats. But it's hard on negotiation, or if you've said something, some people are rough around the edges, and sometimes Dana White may not F with you for lack of a better word. And then that means you're out of this league. I don't know. It's scary to have a monopoly because you don't have negotiation leverage as a fighter. But hey, I understand we need to have a fight. We need to have a fighting constituents where a fighting
constituency
where the best fight the best. But again, let's not make our fighters chattel where they're paid higher in one organization.
But one thing to think that this league doesn't disband all the other promotion companies and fights that will be made outside of this league. The leagues are this league is setting their parameter on how their belts will be distributed, and the partnership with Turkey, you can expect him to lure big names into this league to compete for those belts. Turkey, the influence of Turkey is very important because he is someone that is a fan of boxing. He came up watching boxing in one belt eras. So he's like, I want to recreate this. I got the money. I got the partnership with an American who bridges that gap across the pond. And now we got something.
I can see, I went out on the limb and said the Grand Prix can feed into it, but also I could see people that hit gatekeeper status. People that consistently knock on the door but can't get through. I can see them coming over and being the ones that give it a jump start.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Those guys who are in that range of top six, and that could never break it to the 5, and but still in the top 10 can still make a good earning in that league because they're able bodies to fill out those numbers as you're creating this league table while you're tallying up points. You still need that guy to get to, like when you fighting a Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, before you get to Shao Kahn, whatever his name was, you had to go through some people, and they held weight too, and you needed it. So I'm just so
right. Another scenario, and it could be a combination of all these things, is when you look at a big 3, right? And some people that are on their last hurrah. Maybe Tyson Fury comes out of retirement and
Entertains it.
goes into this league. Um, well,
I can see it.
I
I
think the
can see
good thing about this league, though, another thing I've been writing some notes here on my phone. I think this league will make two things happen. It'll make a lot more fights happen, a lot more fights, because fights. Look at this period of time. We're not getting the fights we want, or the fights that are happening. And how many? If we look at a fight calendar, how many big fights do we have a year? Maybe 3 or 4, right? This league will make at least big fights within the calendar year rise up to about maybe 12. That's a healthy, once a month you'll have a big fight. At least once a month. It'll increase fighter activity because they're getting paid. Fighters, the reason why they don't fight is because they're not getting paid. They don't, the negotiation falls, stuff happens, people get injured. But if you could get it to 12 big fights a year, that's dope. Every month you expect a big fight.
Dude, that's what the NFL does
Yeah.
to become so popular. But do we have any guarantee that we will get these big names in a league? No. If you're starting a new league, there growth and development of the product.
You're right. You're right.
Boxing space that's been very narrow as far as how it's been. So this is outside the box, and boxing tends to reject those things.
Outside the box.
You have Turkey, you have Dana White involved, so there's going to be some transition period. What I'm saying is I don't think there's a guarantee that we get the biggest fighters off the jump unless they're throwing them ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean,
to attract the viewership. That's all.
you're right. It won't be the biggest fight, but it's the thing. The idea I'm saying here is the model. The model they're doing is not going to be new. If you talk about Dana White, it's there. It's hidden in plain sight. The model is the UFC, and it's making the right fights happen. The reason why I was talking about disgruntled fighters or ex-fighters going to the PFL or going to ONE FC or going to Bellator, we've seen it with Dana White. He made a monopoly with the UFC where he was so big as an executive. If he felt it was not about the fighter's talent, if he felt like, bro, you asking for this amount of money, and it's a business thing. But I do agree with you. It won't happen first year of it being implemented. But I'm assuming as everything gets to rolling and that the investment starts to, cash is injected into like year 2 of the investment. Other fighters start to sign contracts. I know fighters may be one leg in, one leg out. Give them part-time contracts so they can still, fulfill their duties to another organization or whatever. But one leg in, one leg out. Hey, I need you to get this thing going. At least give it like wheels to move on. And I bet you in the future, what Turkey's trying to do, he's trying to make an all year action packed, self-serving. You don't have to sit down and negotiate from agent to agent to make these fights happen. They're going to happen immediately. And there's going to be a fight maker, or a person who makes these fights, like Dana White. He sits down and says, hey, you're number 1, you're number 2. You're going to fight for the opportunity to fight the champ, right? Isn't that what Dana does? It's kind of like we don't have to go through the negotiation. It's already preset. You sign this contract to be in this league. You're going to get this amount of salary, whatever. I don't know.
And we're making a lot of assumptions just based off of an announcement. I could see a scenario where the existing governing bodies, this is one thing that could unite the existing governing bodies. And they say that, they may say that we've wanted our own money all this time, but in order for us to survive, we must come together as the traditionals in order to survive. And this might be the divorce. This could potentially lead to the divorce of Turkey and boxing.
The good thing about shows like this, the good thing about shows like this, big wigs will be watching shows like this and saying, "Damn, one of those guys in this show just has they just called our project," and that's it's good for us to make assumptions because one of us in this we're just talking, we're just shooting from the hip, but one of us may be on point, and they're like, "Damn, he's talking about our business model right now," or and that's the same thing. Like weeks ago, we talked about Turkey and Dana White meeting, but we didn't know that this was happening, right? What if somebody from their team was like, "Yo, there's this little or this show that talked about Dana White and Turkey meeting when we were going through our whole thing is why is Dana White being seen with Turkey?" And boom, this manifests. So surprised if any of our wild takes is the actual model, and you if viewership, you heard it first somewhere, and it better be here.
All right, man.
Uh,
So yeah, we got something to look forward to on that. I kind of killed this one here. Whoops.
Yeah.
Take the lead, Strap.
Okay.
This is the Strap show.
Jeez. How do I walk this one here? I don't know if it's cryptic. Kam Gee had to help me with this one. Cryptic. If it's something that is meaning a partnership, but it looks like our guy Tyson Fury is stepping out of retirement for the 6th time. Going through his timeline of retirements. Let's look here. His first time he retired was November 20th, 2013, when he canceled the David Hayes fight.
I mean, I
To
feel
withdraw
like
from fighting after the Klitschko win for the mental health reasons. The 3rd time he retired was August 1st, 2017, after he faced Klitschko. And then the 4th time he retired was 2022, April 23rd, after he defeated Dylan White. And then the last time yet that he retired was recently, January 13th, after he got beat by Usyk. Will he do the Undertaker and resurrect and come back and compete? Because that cryptic message, him walking through the tunnel at Old Trafford, the Manchester United Stadium, spoke nothing but a lot. Loud voices that kind of painted a picture. But anyways, take it on, fellas.
Oh man, somebody said, "Hey, I got this money for you. What do you think about fighting?" He was like, "Sure." Like, I mean, you keep talking about you retiring. Somebody hit him up. Hey, it's as a fight fan, sure, why not? Get out there and fight in the UK and bring 70,000 people and have a crazy ring walk and beat Tyson Fury and entertain us once again. Maybe against the Anthony Joshua. Who knows? Hey, get out there. You don't gotta be cryptic. I was just playing, y'all. I'm back. I'm back.
Anthony Joshua, another person who is probably descending to gatekeeper status.
Yeah. Nah, that chin is.
Oh, no, that's crazy. No. He's he is box office. He's not yet a gatekeeper. He's not yet there.
Hey, man, listen,
I mean,
just
what's
because
He's box office. He can
listen,
still sell a stadium.
he can just because he can sell a stadium doesn't mean that he's not the guy to go through to get to a belt. I mean,
yeah.
I'll say Sora is the gatekeeper, but not Joshua either. That's why.
I mean, you gotta look at the performance, man. If you got an up and coming heavyweight contender, are you necessarily scared to take on an Anthony Joshua?
Let me look at the context of that. Joshua's lost.
I'm just saying that's those are the fights as a contender. Hey, we're going to take a step up in competition. We want to show the world that we're ready for the big stage.
So let's put it.
Anthony Joshua potential opponent, and are you afraid of losing to someone like that if you have a solid contender. That's what I'm saying.
Solid content. I would say this. Let's put it in context. Joshua's only lost to 3 people: Usyk, uh, um, Andy Ruiz, and Triple D, Daniel Dubois. Those are only 3 people, and he's fought how many fights? 30 plus, or 20 plus. I don't remember. I can't remember, but I still maybe I'm a prisoner of the old times where it's the way fighters lose, where I can't really have him as a gatekeeper, because the gatekeeper really just made it hard for you to beat him. And he was one of those like, oh, if you could beat this guy, maybe you could try with the champ. I don't think I'm ready to give him that.
Okay, let's be kinder. I'll use kinder terminology here and say that
performances, though. You know what I'm saying? We saw him take shots that seem to be in the division, it's heavyweight division. It doesn't look like he has a resistance to heavyweight punches at this point in his career. You do descend a little bit in the hierarchy in boxing, because heavyweights, you have to be able to withstand. I mean, it's a different sport at that weight division. But as I'm watching the fights, I don't see someone that has the that he once had to compete at that.
Yeah, let's just say that Anthony Joshua will be perpetually in the interim status. And then some young contender will get a champ at number 1 contendership, and they'll probably have to fight Anthony Joshua. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. I mean,
so then what? At that point, what do you call that, Strap?
But like the thing is, yeah, you actually right. There's so many factors here. There's age, there is passing of the guard, whatever you want to say, in that whole gamut of things. And yeah, you're right. It's just when I look at the heavyweight division, how many people besides Usyk, who else? Parker, where would you rank? How would you rank your heavyweight division right now? All titles, like your top 10. And sorry, this is a tough question. Sorry,
just
off the cuff.
I mean, you got like 10 off the top,
bro. Listen.
Maybe that's another episode.
But we know Usyk and we know Dubois, and you got to put Parker number 3. Like,
I'll put Joshua in top 5, and anything after top 7, that 7 maybe gatekeeper. I'll make 7 gatekeeper. I'll make a Chisora, if even he makes it. Let's Deontay Wilder maybe.
Let's be true to the ticker and include Tyson Fury. So he's 4.
He's retired, bro.
Look at read the ticker.
Nah, okay. Yeah, exactly. Nah. He's here. Usyk, Fury, Dubois, Parker, Zane, Bacoli, Caballero, Big Baby, Jarrell Miller, Andy Ruiz Jr. I'm just naming you guys. You tell me, who does Anthony Joshua defeat out of Parker, Fury, Usyk?
He's already defeated Parker though in the past.
Well, this version of Parker seems to be different. This version of Joshua
he's having yeah, you're right. He's having like a resurgence, like he's coming back. I mean,
Bacoli.
He's better than Miller. To me, I'll put Joshua over Miller.
303 pound Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
So Dubois destroyed Miller.
Listen,
Dubois.
Yeah,
but Miller and they actually had a face-off and were supposed to fight, and Jarrell Miller pushed the out of Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, man, I don't think I don't think that Joshua fares well in many of these potential matchups at his weight class. So I
So
mean,
I'll eliminate one person from that list. I think Jang has lost quite a bit. I mean, he still has that boogeyman little title around his name, but these last 3 fights, I'm like, oh, may have to put him back to.
All right.
27-3.
Who? Let's ask this question: Who is
Bako-
Josh? Who is Joshua going to be training under?
Oh, is he going back to Ben Davidson, or is
Ben
he not with him
Davidson.
anymore? You know, he was out here in Dallas, like going to
Yeah.
24-hour fitness to go to the sauna. I had got a text about that
He was
when he was
He was-
with Derrick James.
Derrick James. Yeah, he worked with Derrick James.
Yeah,
But you guys, hey, this is good conversation, because sometimes the realistic approach to this is the heavyweight has some upcoming fighters. Who's that boy we talked about, the 19-year-old?
Don't get too choked up about it, Strap.
Sorry, I was burping, but like there's that 19-year-old boy, the dude,
I
dude
was
that
trying to
knocked-
find his name. I can from
Itomo-
the UK.
Itomo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Moses
Yeah, that's another. Like there's some hungry.
Wardley. Wardley. I follow his strength and conditioning program. It is excellent out of the UK.
Is that-
18-0-1.
There's a Jagba, there's Bakole. There's some
I
people.
don't really see. Do you see Joshua beat any? I'm Bakole, Hergovich, Worley, Ajagba, Bakole, Utama, who's a number. Utama's a
Utama?
number.
Itomo,
the
yeah,
number two.
he's nice.
Number two in the WBO ranking.
He's only like 19.
So
I think he gets rid of. Let's play the game of elimination here. He gets rid of Jared Miller. No, sorry, Jared Anderson. He gets rid of the other
Okay.
big baby. I think he wins. Big baby Anderson.
does he have to get a new nickname now?
He,
Like he does.
he would be. I think
Just
Dylan White would get beat by Anthony Joshua at this moment. Cesaro could be tough for Joshua. I won't even lie. Cesaro could be tough for Joshua. He's just stubborn. Cesaro is just stubborn. His last fight, he beat a tough opponent, and he was stubborn. So yeah, maybe you guys may have a point here. Like it's hard.
Recent
Cesaro is
opponents
tough.
matter. I mean, recent performances. There you go. But
What if-
Shout out to our viewers. Hey, like, share, subscribe, hit us in the comment. We'll engage back.
I think on a good day, Joshua gets Fury out of here.
Really?
Yeah, he will knock him out. If Fury's a good fighter, but he gets touched too much. I mean, he gets hit too much. I mean, we saw that was Usyk almost knocked him out, and
Usyk.
Francis Ngannou knocked him down. Wilder near almost killed him, and then he came back to life. Like, yeah, Fury gets we give him compliments for his movement, but he gets hit a lot. He gets Vladimir hit him. Like he gets hit. He's not like untouchable. So Joshua may have, on a good day, could get him out. Parker, man, Parker's got good, and he looked so good with Fury. I mean, he looked so good when he beat up Wilder. He beat Wilder easy. That was easy work for Parker when Wilder fought him. Yeah, you're right.
I don't see it.
I don't think he's top 5. Maybe 6. Maybe 6.
Talk yourself out of it.
Because I already put Usyk in there. I put Triple D. I put Parker, and I put Fury. And that 5 right there, Bakole's still a scary person to me. But I put him at 6. But if it's AJ at his best, I think he's better than Bakole. And I think he could, on a good day, could get Fury out of here. But I don't think he's beating Triple D or Parker right now, because those guys are just picking up momentum. I think I could be wrong, and hey, I'm always wrong most of the time. So hey, it is what it is. It's just an opinion that could easily change. So
yeah, welcome back to the world of boxing, Tyson Fury.
Right.
See, we're already making our rankings and everything because of this guy here.
Whirlwind. Come on back, man. Stop playing.
He's what if he just signed just a deal with the stadium and he's playing on us? He's just trolling.
Look, whatever.
It
You
is
got
what
us
it is.
talking, man. Come on
All
back.
right, let's go this route.
Oh geez. Let's make this one quick. So because we have a lot to cover and we already hit the hour mark. Um this is a fight that happened, I believe, Friday. We have Lauren Price versus Natasha Jonas. Um, to my people across the pond, the UK, you already know what this means to you. This is a big fight for, women that have built legacy in the boxing world. But I guess we have a new unification queen, for lack of a better word, and that was Lauren Price. She defeated Natasha Jonas, and I've from as long as I've been following a lot of early 2010 British boxing. Natasha Jonas has been a staple, Olympian, I believe, but she's always been there doing her thing. I believe also she's from the UK. She's a Liverpool, or they call them Scousers. She's a Liverpool supporter, but she's a legend. But in this case, sometimes there's a new queen in town, and that's Lauren Price. Lauren Price dominated, quote unquote, Natasha Jonas to win the women's welterweight division, showcasing exceptional speed, technique, with her eyes set for further unifications. In this case, it's British boxing at its best. It's always good to see, even the female side of things winning and thriving. So, fellas, I don't know if you watched this. I believe it was under Queensberry. People here in the States don't get that promotion in those fights, but hey, did you get to watch this?
Did not catch this one, brother.
No, I didn't catch this one. I did see a few highlights. Was this the same card that
Caroline Du Bois.
correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the same card, and this was just for unification. I can't remember if it's the IBO, one of the British belts, and a foreign and a normal title bill here that was
Yeah.
unified.
And it's a little difficult with time difference. So a lot of times like, oh, this already happened. So
Yeah, and I guess Lauren Price is on her way to going for the big one, which is the what's the big one here? Let me see. The
undisputed.
undisputed. Yeah. So, good luck to Lauren Price, and you're the queen of boxing over there across the pond. So salute to you.
We're gonna keep it pushing here.
Right? We had said earlier, like Tank and media is like Thanksgiving dinner. When you eat it, you store it, and then another day you eat, because he's box office. Like, you have to talk about him. Anyways, his ranking for pound has gone down. So he's not. I don't know exact number. I want to do a Google search what his ranking, but it's been going on Twitter. Like, his ranking has gone down after his last fight with Lamont Roach. So
Hmm.
I mean, it seems to be justified. I mean, you pound for pound list, the guys you project can be the better fighters across divisions. We've only seen them in one division. We're prisoners of the moment in boxing. Hey, talking retirement, had a lackluster performance, came out with a draw. Let me get you out of the top 10 because we don't know no more. I mean, you fight, you win, your rankings go up. You fight, you don't win, they go down. And when you alienate your fan base, people just tend to stop caring.
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting fact here. I did a Google search, and then my Google search basically gave me an average from multiple sources across the web. So that was interesting in and of itself here, as far as pound for pound goes.
Okay. What
I'm
what
not
what do
gonna.
you you don't want to?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is based off sources from across the web.
and that's what I see here. He's ranked 8th, and he was previous to that he was 8th. So I guess Twitter is false information about him dropping a spot. But hey,
Well, I mean, depends on where we're looking at, because if it's like specifically ESPN rankings,
yeah, that was ESPN I was looking at.
I mean, I
Out
don't
in the
know.
top 10.
When's the last one released? I mean, I don't know.
This was oh yeah, you're right. Actually, ESPN was released January 11th. So this is needs to update. My bad. I'll pull that back. But yeah, yeah. If statements like this are being propagated on Twitter, a lot of the boxing casuals are like, "Yo, if he's losing his ranking, he better have a rematch with dude, because he got to finish and clean that blemish on his jacket." What do you guys think of that? Do you think a Twitter casuals are correct about this?
Yeah. What have you done for me lately?
Like,
Okay,
you have to go back and clean it up.
This is a running list. All right, what have you done for me lately? And your last showing was subpar. It was not up to the standard. And
Yeah.
I
But
can't.
anyways, we need
see
see that
LT's
fight.
body language is telling you, like, Tank, we love Tank, but we want to see him perform well and on the big stages with the big names. We've seen him perform well at outstanding knockouts. We want to see him against the names. We know the names. We just want to see it. At this point, we're just tired.
And I mean, hey, look.
And so was the pound for pound ranking. They were just tired. Whether Twitter or number 8, number 9.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you who Tank's most decorated opponent is, and Kam Gee's gonna be like,
Who?
Who am I gonna say? You know who I'm gonna say?
Ryan Garcia?
Nah, not even him. Mario Barrios.
Wow. The Aztec.
Oh, Ryan has never been a champion. Ryan has never been a champion. Right? Yeah, I have to think about it. Ryan has never been a champion.
Barrios was recently a 147 belt holder.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
man.
How about Gamboa? Gamboa got a champ on him.
Right. And you're going backwards though. Like,
you're going
respectfully.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a hell of a stat right there. A hell of a piece of information.
I'm just saying.
That is quite telling.
So that those 30 wins are kind of like fluff.
I mean, it's professional boxing, hard to call it fluff, but then when you mention that his most decorated opponent was Mario Barrios, and you're Tank Davis, and you claim to be who you are, it just, one could argue that you're not.
I mean, look, hey, okay, all right. I mean, Rolando Romero's a former champion, right? Before,
yeah.
I mean, Leo Santa Cruz, Yorkis Gamboa.
Santa Cruz is legit.
These are. I mean, he's got some good names, but we're gonna have to go back a ways.
Yeah, because I was like,
was Liam Walsh a belt holder at one point? I mean,
wow.
I'm just saying. Now, out of those names, is Barrios a 2-division weight champion?
Wow. Wow.
When do we have to like give a fighter credit and not blame his era, because there were not good fighters in his era? Like, just say, hey,
well,
I know that you fought in an era with not as many good fighters, but you were that guy. And don't say the same for Terrence Crawford.
Man.
Nah, but Terrence Crawford eventually fought the guys from his era.
Besides Errol Spence, who on his record, never mind.
He should fight Sean Porter. The guy who fought everybody.
The guy who fought everybody. They should put that on the shirt.
You're right. Yeah, he fought everybody.
Because it was, I mean, who gets the most respect from except
Sean
the
Porter.
guy that fought everybody. Like, who cares if you won or lost? You fought everybody.
Yeah.
You
And
are
then
endeared forever to the fans.
listen, I'm still stuck on Barrios because
Yeah.
his only two losses are Javante Davis, Keith Thurman.
Didn't Barrios he didn't lose?
Nope, he beat your Dennis Ugas.
Ugas, yeah.
He had a draw with Abel Ramos.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Got it.
So that was his most recent performance.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was the bigger man in that fight.
Fighting out of San Antonio, by the way.
Yeah, he was the bigger guy, but okay. Yeah. That's a hell of a find right there. So yeah. Let's see it, Tank. Let's see it. We gotta see it, man.
I guess this draw really people are treating this draw like a loss, Tank, when the draw does not count. It's like, yo, we don't care if you draw. It's like a loss, bro. If the way the streets are moving, it's like you caught, like my man Lamar Raj caught a body on paper, like they're treating it, they kind of like they've been like, this shows me that they've been waiting for this moment for Tank. Like I've seen it everywhere. I think they were just tired of his tenure, and to me, that's unfair, man, because Tank has given us good moments. But
no, bro. He gave us a lackluster performance.
Yeah. Came in the scene to be unfocused, talking about retirement, feuding
Come on,
with
hold
his
on.
coach.
Fam.
I mean,
people love a knockout artist.
Yeah.
People love a knockout artist who's knocking people out. They don't want to hear their knockout artist talk.
Strap.
Passive.
His fan base didn't even care who he was knocking out up until like
they didn't. And you know what's crazy?
They're paying $80 for the pay-per-view card when the greatest card of the century was only $25.
Right. You know the craziest part I realized about his core base? Like I was seeing on Twitter, like his core base saying, well, Tank usually doesn't have fights where he's dominating, but he finds a way and he knocks out people. It starts off not good. He looks like, and I was like, oh, that's what his core base, that's what the core base is saying. But they just know him for just having that nuke, and they don't care if he's getting outpointed, he's getting outboxed, he's being clinched and thrown around the ring. They're like, no, he's gonna find him and he's gonna knock him out. And I'm like, that's not healthy. That kind of gives me Deontay Wilder deja vu moment. Like, yeah, like you really relying on Deontay Wilder's right hand when you got these guys who have been boxing since they were like 3 years old. Like, you really think Deontay? So that's how I felt when I was reading those comments about Tank on Twitter, like from his fan base. And I'm a Tank fan too, but just the delusion to think like, bro, you can just skate your way with just knocking out people without putting a performance out there. Like, you can't do it, man. This is elite fighting, man.
Yeah. So, like I said, Javante Davis, Keith Thurman, only two men to defeat Mario Barrios. Perfect segue into tomorrow's fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
One time for the one time.
I like how you did that.
Yeah, very smooth.
That segue, I liked it.
The comeback fight, first fight in 3 years.
Come on, man, where you been?
Let's fact check that real quick.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
So if we remember, Thurman was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu. He had a bicep injury and was replaced by Sebastian Fundora last minute. And that led to a brutal fight where Tim Tszyu and this was going to be a title fight for middleweight, one of the middleweight belts, and Yeah, the course of history has been altered. Not so much for Keith Thurman, but
He's been chilling.
definitely for Tim Zoo, who ran into uh not only Fundora but Big Bad Bakram, if I'm not mistaken.
Bakram,
Bakram.
Murtaza.
Tazalia Bakram. Boy, ain't
So
nobody said his name still.
I think Tim Zoo put two fighters on the map.
Unintentionally.
uh,
Timzu.
Keith
oh
Thurman, when
man.
we wake up, we'll have a
Man.
victory, loss, or draw. What do we know his opponent? Brock
Like I'm saying.
Jarvis.
Yeah, but like I was saying, his last fight was in 2022 where he won a unanimous decision over Mario Barrios. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can just walk off LT after that one. That's a
Mackie.
lot, bro. Hey man,
oh
Mario
man.
Barrios, we respect you as a fighter, as a man. You had to go out there and do that. So, what do I know?
I'm trying to I I'm trying to tell him. I'm trying
Bro,
to tell him.
what do I know? Good lord.
Oh
So
yeah.
so this is
So
happening tomorrow morning, right?
this is in Australia. So um what tomorrow for us, tonight for them? I don't know.
Man, so confusing.
It's confusing. And
What we do know is Brock. It's been reported that Brock Jarvis is from the same camp as Tim Zoo, and so we think that this is. I personally think that this is a mulligan. Um, it's a comeback fight that I'm so used to seeing with Keith Thurman. Most recently, who had a comeback fight against Josecito Lopez. All right, Brock Jarvis probably should have been watching that fight. Um,
it's
because
like a tune up, like get me right. Let me get ready.
yeah,
And it's like a
he-
solid to the camps since they agreed to do business before. That's what it
right.
sounds like. Like, hey, bro, since you had to get out that fight, let's fight one of my guys in my camp. We can make some money.
Do it
Do it.
here.
Do it
Do it here.
exactly. Yep.
And if you win, we build it up.
And rock.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what we know about Thurman is he's very susceptible to body shots.
Ooh,
Mm.
So
and he's older, 36 years old now.
correct.
I mean, yeah. So that the main event for Keith Thurman and Brock Jarvis fight is expected to be around 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, the duration of the undercard will impact Thurman and Jarvis actually start time. This is via USA Today. So it will begin at 1:30 a.m. So if we're burning the midnight oil, as they would say, you could be up at 1:30 in all of our time zone in the Central Standard Time Zone and catch some undercards of an Australian fight night.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you pick a Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know, but hey, let's do it.
I think this is less more of viewership, more of let's meet this commitment, setting up this big fight in the future. Again, when you do stuff like that, how does a fighter like Brock Jarvis feel in this whole process? Like, yo,
Well, actually,
no,
hold on a second. Brock Jarvis, okay, be happy because you're coming off a knockout to Liam Paro. First round. He looks like he lost. Oh, wait a minute. Just as inactive. 10-15-2022 looks like. What is this? Hold on a second. This is off of I'm on the WBA's website. So if y'all ain't updated y'all website, shame on you.
Right.
Yeah. 5'9", 68.5-inch reach. So he's got 2 inches on height, but just about even in reach. So he'll be punching down.
Looks like Thurman's body might be safe.
Keith. I like Keith, the old Keith. I like Keith as a confidence fighter. He was never the same after that bike wreck. That when he had that accident on a bike. But Keith, man, like Keith made some of those that time in the late 2010s interesting, or 2010 mid 2010s.
Belts hostage from Earl Spence.
He did.
Belts hostage from Earl Spence. Would not give him opportunity.
He did,
and he is part of the problem that we experience with guys protecting their own and not making fights.
But I will come to the defense and say that he didn't fight Spence, but he did fight Pacquiao. So at the time, that was the money fight. I want to throw in here about Jarvis though. Although he's coming off a loss to Liam Paro, he does have an 87% knockout rate. So he was knocked out by Paro, but all but one of his fights were victories by knockout. So
we should expect an exciting
fight. I mean, let's go through Keith's pedigree, man. He fought Danny Garcia when Danny Garcia was scorching hot. He fought Sean Porter when Sean Porter had just beaten Kell Brook.
Was that also a split decision?
I can't remember.
Keep going.
He fought Amir Khan and knocked out Amir Khan. Keith Thurman fought. He was very fearless. Yes, there was the All Spence boogeyman theory.
Luis Collazo. He fought. Is this the ghost?
That division was stacked. By the way, that division was stacked. Even if he didn't fight Earl Spence, but still, like Keith did fight. He fought Pacquiao too.
Wait,
eventually, but he was never the same after that bike wreck. I think in 2017 or 2018. I can't remember.
He fought Diego Chavez early. Like this guy.
Yeah, Keith Thurman has a very good pedigree, man. He has a good list of fighters that he has fought and had the best of. So,
he's only lost one, right? Near retirement Pacquiao. I just can't.
Yeah, but still, did he lose to Pacquiao? He lost to Pacquiao.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Only one. I think he only has one loss.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Ugas decision.
Yeah,
Pacquiao.
He lost to Pacquiao, and Keith. I think that's the only person he lost to.
That's it.
That's it. And that's the thing we forget. One time did the run around with Spence, but most people did that with Spence. I think Floyd did that with Spence a little bit. Floyd could have given Spence a fight at a catch weight or some he could, but according to Vegas, there was some rumors about sparring, but that's neither here or there. I don't know. Well, LT, you looking like you know something about those rumors that happened in sparring over there in Vegas.
Well,
somebody's ribs got broken, right?
I think Floyd put Spence on the trail of Thurman, and actually Thurman was hunting the big names. Thurman was hunting the Floyd Mayweathers and the Pacquiaos, and Floyd sent Spence after Thurman. So that's history corrected right there. But
the rumors about ribs getting broken in sparring.
Who are you talking about, Strap?
Was it not the rumors back in the day with when Earl Spence was sparring with TMT with Floyd Mayweather? Like Earl Spence hurt Floyd, or remember back in the day? Or what? Those were like rumors. Huh? This is like 20.
I remember. Yeah, these are early
Spence
2012,
2015, 2014 when Spence was training a lot with Floyd, getting Floyd right for fights. Even before the Floyd Berto fight, I know Spence was fighting with Floyd, was working out with Floyd, and then there were rumors. I don't know if it's true, but that
no video evidence.
Spence broke bones or something, broke ribs, or or knocked him out. I can't even remember, but it was something. Remember that? Was it ribs breaking or something that happened? And Floyd kind of like was like, I don't want to fight this guy. I don't want to fight this guy for real, for real. This boy from Dallas is a problem. Remember that?
Yes, there was something along those lines.
But they never. Spence never really came out to talk about it, just because that's you don't want to mess your money up. But yeah, there were rumors, man. Like Floyd got hurt by Spence. But anyways, that's neither here or there. But
One time, Keith Thurman, Brock Jarvis, 2 knockout artists going head to head tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And so
5:30, 6:30.
that starts a string of fight dates. March 12th here stateside. So we're just gonna go give you the rundown. There's no shortage of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a diehard, there's something to keep you entertained.
Right.
So
March 13th.
we get a unification in Tokyo.
Okay.
Flyweight unification.
So the 13th, that will be on Thursday.
We don't
right.
Thursday midnight.
These are the headlines, but those are
yeah
title implications there. All right, here we go. So now we're getting a little complicated. No shortage here these days. Check it out.
Montreal. Yeah, this is ESPN Plus. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, listen.
Friday and Saturday.
I'm just letting y'all know. Do your own due diligence. There's a women's title fight somewhere in there. That sounds bad, but find the women's title fight. That's got the most title implications right there.
Michaela Taylor. Michaela. Can't remember my last name. Michaela. Am I saying it right? Michaela.
No, that's later. That's later this month.
Never mind.
All right. And then on the 15th, some names you might know. TJ Doheny and Nick Ball.
Mm-hmm.
WBA featherweight. At least those names came across our show.
Right. Is it the one televised on DAZN?
I believe you're correct.
Okay. So we got.
And this is in Orlando, right?
ESPN Plus and DAZN.
No. Wait a minute. No.
So we have a Montreal, a Bethlehem, Pennsylvania card, and a Orlando, Florida card. So 3 different cities across 2 countries.
And I don't think this Nick Ball and Doheny, I think that's going to be across the pond if I had to guess.
So you got some Montreal, Canada. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Liverpool. Ball and Doheny's going to be in Liverpool. So same day, different location. That's probably going to be 11 a.m. ish. Mm-hmm. Orlando's out.
So you don't normally that's probably broadcast with what is it, Sky Sports or TNT Sports?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's on the zone. It's on the zone as well.
That too, yeah.
So this one's going to be morning the zone. Orlando's going to be evening the zone.
So usually, if it's not on TNT Sports, which is Queensbury, if it's on the zone, then that is usually Match Room. That's Eddie Hearns.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
On local news, I guess.
Here we go. So no shortage. Moral of the story: no shortage of boxing.
No shortage of boxing.
Not a whole lot of big names for the casuals, but if you're a diehard, you can find something to watch.
Well, this was just something I thought I would slide into the banner, but it means something to the folks out here where I live in Wichita, Kansas. There will be a PFL semifinal held. Can't remember the date, but I believe this weekend. And never mind. June 20th. So this is way. We have a few more time, a few more, few more schedules to get to. But hey, catch me there. I'll be there. Just
like it.
suited, treated like Las Vegas and be in attendance. Hopefully,
That's the only way to do it.
Hopefully I could do a podcast there now.
No, the only way to do it is to overdo it.
Go
Let's
to
do
the
a
fights,
podcast
local,
session in there. Yeah.
local fights for the win. You never know the talent that may be right in your backyard.
Yeah.
Support.
All right. Now we're going for the.
We can say that one. Nah, say that one.
Which one? I saved that one.
We got. Yeah, that the.
Yeah, let's save it.
Yeah.
We've gone an hour 35 minutes. Well, I guess it's time to close the show, and then I think it's a healthy time.
Keith Thurman, y'all.
Yeah, we gotta get ready for Keith Thurman in the AM. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another great episode of Who's Fighting, episode 47. And we are striving and pushing to hit that milestone, which is that half a century, or no, it's not century, that's year based, but that half 100, that 50. So we have 3 more episodes to get that 50, which is major because when we made this resurgence, we were just episode 19 back in August, I guess, back last year. So thank you, LT, thank you, Kam Gee. Every day or every week, with every added on episode, we make stuff happen. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's been another great episode of Who's Fighting. LT, Kam Gee.
Yeah.
Fighting.
Who's fighting?